皆様こんにちは。 Nvidia の澤井と申します。ここのですね、ホール A2 セッションではですね、セッション部屋では、クラウド仮想化のセッションを中心に、お送りいたします。弊社 Nvidia、そして、仮想化ソリューションベンダー様、そしてサーバーベンダー様から最新情報の提供をいたしますし、いくつかのセッションでは実際に、GRID2、仮想化向けの GPU ソリューションをですね、ご導入いただいたお客様から、導入に至った経緯であるとか導入効果についてもご紹介させていただく予定となっております。それではまずですね、弊社 Nvidia ジェレミーメインから最新の Nvidia GRID 2.0 についてご紹介いたします。それではよろしくお願いいたします。
Thanks, everyone. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about what we announced at VMworld about 2 weeks ago. Something we've been very excited about offering, and this is Nvidia GRID 2.0. Now, the IT landscape is changing. The world where applications were determined by IT, users used corporately owned devices and worked in the office. And of course, all their data was local to their machines. Now, this world no longer exists. Today, employees want to work from anywhere. This includes working from remote offices, customer sites, or telecommuting from home. IT must find ways to support users with all the applications they need, and no matter where they live, so that they can be their most productive. In addition, the data that these users produce has exploded not only in quantity, but also the file sizes that they deal with. A recent study found that there are over 32 zettabytes of business data created each year. That's enough to fill 3.2 billion 1 terabyte hard disks. All of this data must be accessed by users no matter where they are, and it has to be kept secure. Finally, users want to be able to work on the devices that they're most comfortable with. This includes things like smartphones, tablets, MacBooks, and any other devices that a client is available for. IT must find a way to support all of these new devices as they enter the enterprise. All of these changes have been brought us to the future of end-user computing. A world where IT can support their users anywhere and on any device with any application, removing barriers for productivity so they can accelerate their business, regardless of location. This is where Nvidia, the leader in graphics technology, stepped in to help. Nvidia GRID technology allows IT to virtualize the physical GPU sitting in a server and share it with multiple VDI instances. This means that IT can deliver a true PC experience to any remote device from the data center. By providing a way to bring graphic acceleration to virtualization, Nvidia GRID allows you to unlock all of the promises of virtualization: productivity, mobility, security, and flexibility for every one of your users. With Nvidia GRID, you can safely house all of your current data and applications in the data center so that they can be delivered out to any device. be it a thin client, Chromebook, iPad, any multiple number of devices. From an end user perspective, this means that they'll be more productive working on the devices that they're most comfortable and familiar with, and be able to access data from the locations that best suit them. For an IT perspective, they are able to manage everything centrally in the data center, which vastly simplifies their lives. So let's see what we mean by talking about the challenges of traditional VDI. As you can see, the image on the left is an example of a VDI deployment that can only show a basic model, which has been unacceptable to users and unable to manage complex objects. Because this machine is leveraging GPU graphics emulation, i.e. non-native hardware support, not all application features can even be supported. Nvidia GRID exposes a full PC experience for the industry-leading virtualization environments. Any virtualized PC or workstation application now has 100% of the functionality and performance of a local machine. The image on the right shows an image displaying full performance and quality, allowing users to visualize all the components of the model. Nvidia GRID enables the performance and visual quality that you would expect on a local device. A key value of Nvidia GRID lies in bringing the benefits of virtualization to all of your users. While many organizations have started seeing the benefit of virtual PCs with their lower level business users, the value greatly increases as you add more use cases. To look at how these benefits are realized, I'd like to walk you through a few customer examples. So in end user productivity, Metro Health. Metro Health is a regional healthcare provider in Grand Rapids, Michigan, who began deploying VDI approximately 8 years ago. But they were not very satisfied with the results. Currently, they're testing the GRID K1 boards and vGPU with a total of 95 users, with plans to deploy to an additional 4,500 users. Some of the applications that are used are Epic, custom clinical applications, Office, and web browsing. The current VDI implementation has been proven through internal and external analysis to be delivering a time savings of 30 minutes per day per user. Now that's each doctor, and up to 50 minutes per day for nurses and other professionals at Metro Health. And this is done through fast roaming access alone. Another example is IT management. North Carolina State University has a total number of 33,000 students and nearly 8,000 faculty and staff. Now, NCSU's library IT set up the Horizon View infrastructure with 2 GPU clusters. these clusters were using Dell servers and, of course, the Nvidia GRID graphics cards to run SolidWorks and Autodesk AutoCAD applications. Prior to virtualization, the library had standard Windows desktops. All applications were pushed out directly to the physical desktops by campus IT staff. Now, provisioning a new desktop takes very little time, and typically 10 or so standby virtual machines are available, so when someone logs off, a new one is created and several remain in the pool at any given time. Next case is for data security. SSOE Group is a large engineering, procurement, and construction management firm with 1,200 employees and 29 offices in 7 countries. Supporting collaboration among employees, contractors, and third parties, and working on a centralized design and 3D models created a real technology challenge for SSOE. End users required reliable and fast access to critical design and engineering applications, such as Autodesk Revit, Autodesk AutoCAD, and the Autodesk Design Suite. Additionally, Bentley Design Suite and SolidWorks 3D CAD design software. The firm needed to support big, complex models that were part of projects that could have up to 70 to 80 models interconnected. And the end user model viewing and manipulation, or manipulating experience, had to have responsive performance. SSOE can leverage all of the architectural, engineering, and construction expertise in the world without compromising the security of SSOE's client or intellectual property. This technology, which has been around since 2013, has seen adoption across numerous industries. These are just a handful of the organizations that are looking at how NVIDIA GRID can help them deliver accelerated virtual desktops across their organization. Additionally, NVIDIA GRID has wide industry support. All of the major virtualization players partnering on this solution. So how does the solution actually work? So we talked about virtualizing the GPU and being able to deliver that application compatibility to any device with that native experience. That's what users are used to. We do this by using our vGPU technology to divide up that physical GPU and then deliver that straight through to the actual virtual machine. The graphics commands of each virtual machine are passed directly to the GPU, providing them the graphics resources that they need to launch and use their applications in whatever client device they choose to use. There is no other product or solution on the market today that can do this. Nvidia GRID is the only product that can deliver accelerated virtual desktops so that users can be free to do their work no matter what device and no matter where they are. So Nvidia GRID has traditionally been targeted at architects, designers, and engineers. But there's really a great use case for business users who are looking for that native experience. Every device today has a GPU in it. So you can imagine that someone who's using Office applications or other applications like Photoshop or Adobe Suite still want to have that level of experience that they're used to and they're going to get by using a virtualized GPU as opposed to what they'd get with traditional VDI. Engineers and designers who work on small to medium design files with applications like Siemens NX or SolidWorks need the power of the GPU to run these applications. It's not optional. Engineers and designers who demand the ultimate graphics performance using Maya or Dassault's 3D Excite or Petrel, for example, require a GPU. So probably this is what most everyone is waiting for. The big announcement with vGPU or GRID 2.0 is we're transitioning from being only a hardware solution to adding software to the solution to best match the requirements of our users. So we've taken and built a solution that can meet the needs of these different types of users. With our new GRID product, we have 3 components. Let's start with the bottom and move up. First, we start with the hardware because you have to have a GPU to do this sort of work. The data center GPU is our new Tesla M6 and Tesla M60 boards. These will be sold through our OEMs such as HP, Dell, Cisco, and Lenovo, just as we do today. On top of that, we have introduced 3 software editions that enable this shared GRID capability to work, which align to the 3 user types that I just spoken about. The GRID Virtual PC is designed for the business user who needs to accelerate their desktop and get a modern experience at the same time. The GRID Virtual Workstation is the core of our workstation business. Engineers and artists, designers who need to get things done, and they can't work without a GPU. This edition is designed to enable these users to get their work done. GRID Virtual Workstation Extended is the highest edition for high-end designers who do very high-end, resource-intensive work. Now, these are perpetual software licenses that we sell. On top of that, in order to support you and keep you up to date on your software, we offer our support, update, and maintenance subscription, or SUMS for short. Now that's an annual subscription, and let's take a look at that in more detail. So the 3 GRID software editions are down or across the horizontal axis. GRID Virtual PC, GRID Virtual Workstation, and GRID Virtual Workstation Extended. you can see the differentiation in features that we have across these. We have a number of displays and maximum resolution differentiation that we support for each different edition. Your business users tend to use a standard single or dual virtual display up to 2560 by 1600 resolution. In virtual workstation space, we start to see up to 4 virtual displays. We also support 4K in the virtual workstation extended edition. So all 3 editions support Windows guest OSs. And we add Linux guest OS support for the GRID Virtual Workstation and GRID Virtual Workstation Extended. Our traditional Quadro software features are supported in the 2 workstation class products. With the Virtual Workstation Extended, we added support for CUDA and OpenCL in the GRID Virtual Workstation Extended Edition in our 8 gig vGPU profile. So up to 2 gig profiles in the Virtual PC Edition, as well as the Virtual Workstation Edition. And then for the Virtual Workstation Extended, we support up to 8 gig profiles. So on top of that, we enable the support updates and maintenance subscription, SUMS. Now, the first year of SUMS is mandatory. And that is designed to enable direct support for users and, for example, email, phone, and web support to resolve your specific issues for your operating environment so you can contact us directly. Now with software, as it usually is, there will be updates or constant improvements. And with your subscription, we'll offer ongoing access to updates for our GRID software, so that way you can take advantage of all the latest features and improvements, even the latest hardware enablement that we make in our software will be updated in this manner. Since it's a perpetual license, you can get updates to support the latest hardware as long as you're current on your subscription. And then, of course, maintenance is always part of software, and you have to do long-term resolution defects and security fixes. Anything that comes out will be enabled as part of this subscription. Now there are 2 versions of SUMS, a basic version and a production version. The differences are generally the level of service that we offer. With both of these, you'll get the latest maintenance releases and latest version upgrades as they become available. The difference is the long-term branch maintenance. With a basic subscription, we'll continue branch maintenance up to 1 year from general availability of that branch release. With production, we'll support that up to 3 years from general availability. And we can add fixes and maintenance and features to that. So there's differences in response time and access. We're running a little short on time, so I'm going to allow you to just reference this slide. But there's those differences between the 2 editions. So I wanted to make sure that we had time to talk about our new Maxwell GPUs. So at VMworld, we introduced these 2 cards. The Tesla M60 is a PCI Express based rack mount and tower servers, 4 rack mount and tower servers. And the Tesla M6 is our blade server architecture. The difference between the two is that the M60 is a dual high-end Maxwell, and the M6 is a single high-end Maxwell. When you compare that to a K2, which is a dual high-end Kepler, you can see that the M60 is a direct replacement for the K2. From a scalability perspective, excuse me, I over-scrolled. From a scalability standpoint, you can see that the K2 supported up to 16 users per board. Now the M60 doubles that to up to 32 users per board. For example, where you could support 8 users on a K2, you can now support 16 users on an M60 at the same level of performance. And lastly, after this announcement, there's going to be 3 additional technical sessions where I'll be presenting on these topics. One is the vGPU deep dive, which will be a technical discussion about how vGPU works. The next one is on vGPU sizing, which talks about monitoring applications and environments to best understand how to size the number of virtual machines per GPU. And the final is vGPU top 10 PLC survival tips, where I'll share tips that we've gathered from the field throughout the world about issues that can cause a PLC to run into unexpected trouble. So thank you for your time. If there's any questions, I think we have maybe 1 minute. 誰か何か質問がありますか？英語じゃなくてもいい。
すみません、時間がないので質問1個だけ。
はい。
グリッド2っていうのは結局、ボードが違うの、グリッド2っていうのはボードが新しくなったのと、
はい、
それとサービスのサムというところが出てきたという、その2点と考えていいんでしょうか。
So the question is, with GRID 2.0, this is for the people that don't speak Japanese. The two main thing is that there's a new board and the sums and subscription, and he's asking if that's a confirmation of that, and that's not it. The other thing is that now the GRID software is now a separately licensed product. So we have the new board, we have the new software licensing and software additions, which allow customers or users to select the features that best fit their workload. Instead of having to buy the most expensive license, they can now tailor that for their workload. Also, we offer direct maintenance and support through the SUMS program, which is something that our enterprise customers have requested. Thank you.